Growing vinca plant in winters is a little tricky process, and in this video we will discuss how we can keep it growing in winter. As winter is not its season, therefore different problems can harm it very badly, so let's know how to keep it growing in such an odd environment. First, let's discuss a little about the season. So vinca plant is a summer's flowering plant that is grown as a permanent plant in Asia. Vinca starts its growth as the summer starts and continue to grow up to mid-October. But as the winter season starts, the temperature starts to decrease, and vinca plant also gradually stop its growth. In some areas, when temperature falls up to 10 degrees, vinca plant became fully dormant, and may die as well. But there are some tips and tricks you should follow to keep the vinca plant thriving, that we will discuss in a while. Now, as we know, vinca plant is a summer's plant, but for the winters you can still grow many other flowering plants. A list of them is added in the description box, you can check out that. The most important thing for growing vinca plant in winters is to change its location. Your vinca pot might be in an open area, with night frost and shade. So you should move it to a sunny spot. In winters, the decreasing temperature causes the leaves to freeze, that ultimately makes the plant dying. You can move the vinca indoors in a bright light area, just like near a window. But don't let it in an open space, especially if winters are extremely cold on your side. At the room temperature, your vinca plant wouldn't let the growth to stop, but the outdoor environment will definitely kill it. The another point for vinca winter care is to reconsider your watering style. Soil mix also plays a big role in it. For the watering, the best practice is to check the upper layer of soil, and then water. In winters, the moisture hardly evaporates, therefore you have to wait a little until it gets dry. Adding water again and again, especially if your soil mix is not draining properly, can cause many serious problems like a stunted growth, yellow leaves and root rot, etc. So for that, you should use a well-draining mix as well, but now don't try to change the soil. Simply try to water carefully. Your soil mix may need moisture after a day, or maybe after a week, but you always have to wait until the soil dries. For a good soil mix for your vinca plants, you can check it out from the description, and change its soil mix as the spring starts. Another common problem of vinca plant in winters is its yellowing leaves. But the turning of leaves into yellow, especially in the winters, is a normal thing, until it is due to the temperature effect. But if your soil mix is wet for a long time, then it can also cause yellow leaves, that can be very harmful. So make sure your soil mix is drying properly. There are several other reasons as well, that can cause yellowing of leaves on vinca. For that, check out a detailed article on our website, or in the description box. Fertilization is also important to be discussed in vinca winter care. So yes, you can add fertilizer, but there is a way. In its season, you can add any good fertilizer every 15 days, but in the winter days, you should slow down to fertilize. As vinca doesn't grow much in winters, therefore it doesn't require much nutrition in winters. If your soil mix is fertile, you can pass winter months without any fertilization. But a stable fertilizer must be provided every month to keep the vinca plant out of nutritional deficiency. For that, you can use our homemade NPK fertilizer, which is best for such conditions. But remember, don't try to fertilize again and again. The next point in vinca plant winter care is to avoid any root work. If you disturb the roots in any way, your vinca plant may die because of stress. Vinca plant is already going through its hard days, and repotting or root pruning over that can make it dying, so you have to be careful. You can repot your vinca plant as the winter season ends and springs come up. If your vinca roots are bounded like this, then you must give it a bigger pot. And as it starts to grow again, follow up this video for getting it on a massive blooming